All right, guys, welcome to Cloud B. Man, this is going to be the very first video of anything. This is more of a documenting process for me that I'm using YouTube for. It's just to go through different labs and do different things with AWS. And then we'll move on to, of course, like other clouds as we keep learning. But for those people who also want to kind of follow along with any labs or anything that I'm doing or trying to repeat it, by all means do that. I am not a solutions architect now, but this is something that I'm working on getting to. And this is the point of this channel, just so I can go back and look at how well I'm putting things together through certain labs. All right. So the first thing that we have to do is going to be signing in. So this is going to be how to launch a spot instance with Amazon EC2. Okay. So first I have to log in. This is not my login. I'm using Wiz Labs, or you can use Cloud Guru's sandbox if you do get that. By all means, they're both good. So these are like completely fake accounts, so none of these numbers matter at all. So if you see me showing them, they don't matter. They're fake credentials. All right. So the first thing that we're going to have to do is actually launch a EC2 instance, and I'm going to make sure that I'm still in North Virginia, US East 1, which I am. I'm going to navigate over to EC2. All right. And I see that we have one instance already. And this is just for the server, so we're not going to touch that. I'm just going to hit the backspace and hit instances running. And then you can launch an instance if you would like. Well, that's what we would have to do, is launch an instance. Now you guys can do any one of these. They all have, from what I'm aware of, free tier eligible, so you can play with these. If you want to do a Microsoft, they do have free tiers, and you see other free tiers that are available depending on what you're trying to use. Like, right, they have Red Hat, Ubuntu, different Linux products. Mac, I don't think they have a free tier, do they? Nope, Mac is the only one that does not have a free tier, which is hilarious to me. So this time we're going to use Amazon Linux for this one, okay? They're going to go and click T2 Micro if that's not already clicked for you, or whatever free tier that you want to use. I suggest T2.micro. And the key pair, normally I would generate a key pair for accessing anything like this, but for this I'm going to just click proceed without a key pair. And as you see, it says not recommended, right? Ever. So just because this is a demo and not really a real thing, but I am creating real EC2 instances and everything. So, but it just will be deleted once I'm done and exit out of everything. So as we scroll down to network settings, we can see everything. Auto assign public IP. I do want that. Create a security group. And I put allow SSH traffic. And I'm going to also click allow HTTPS traffic. And just because this is going to be a spot instance that I don't mind other people having access to, I can do HTTP traffic as well. That is not so secure. Or if you just want to leave HTTPS and SSH, that's fine. That's more secure. There's more security that you can put on behind your instances as well, but we're not going to go over that here. We're just trying to start up a spot instance. All right. All right. And as we scroll down some more here, go to advanced details, scroll down, and here's where you create a spot instance right here. So you can request spot instance, And normally if you wanted to put a profile underneath it, if you created an IAM profile, which we will go over in a separate video on how to create IAMs or work within the IAM and create users and groups and all that good stuff and put rules behind them, we will go over that as well. But in this case, we're just going to leave it blank for right now. And sometimes when you're playing with this with labs, because I believe this is the best way to learn, just play around with all the options and see what you can get, see what it says, see how you want to set everything up. But it'll help you out at the end of the day. But I'm not going to touch any more of this at all. I am going to put some user data in. This is just extra. You don't have to do that. And this is just a simple script. And then it will launch instance. And it should go all the way through, which it did. You can look at the launch log and see everything succeeded correctly. And we can click view all instances. Right here we have the EC2 server for our servers that got terminated. Well, if we refresh, we can see that our spot instance that we made is running. And it's giving us a status check as well. But that may take a little longer for it to complete. But this is it. This is you creating a spot instance. And that's all you need. And if you want to make any extra changes to it, like we'll talk about stuff like this as well in the future. But if you want to make any changes to your spot instance, of course, you can just click on it and up the security if you wanted to. Like if I wanted to add more ways to access or add more inbound or outbound rules, all I have to do is click on the security groups and I can edit inbound rules. And you see when we made the EC2 spot instance, remember when we click SSH as we were making it, and then we clicked on HTTPS and I unchecked HTTP once I checked it and said, you know what, I just want to keep it secure for the most part, just secure traffic only. Well, you can always add another rule and literally go to whatever it is that you're actually looking for. Whatever you want to go through, we'll explain a lot of this down the road as well as we're getting to that point. Now, like I said, this is just for me to go through it and actually be able to watch myself go through this again. This is just documentation, but whoever's watching, once again, like feel free to go along with this, but this is just how to create a spot instance. That's it. And then you would save the rules. So let's say if I did want to change this to HTTP, you know that is port 80. So you don't really have to remember ports here, which is great, especially coming from a job where I was a network specialist. And I don't have to remember a lot of the ports anymore. I mean, I still know them, but this is good that it just pops it up for you. All right, and then once you add another one, you have to add the IP. Here, we're just going to put all zeros. Everybody can have access to it. Save rules. And then boom, you can go back to your instances running. And if I click it, I don't have any IM rows or account open, so it won't take me to the exact website. Yeah, I need to create some more for me to actually connect to this fully. But that is it. The next one will go a little bit more in depth. That'll be a different thing that we use. But yeah, hopefully this helped somebody out. But this is just for me to just go through how I make my spot instances for right now without any like crazy configurations or anything. Thank you guys for listening. If you are listening, if not, have a nice one.